to Flex Candle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. I'm Flex, and today we're diving into a full top-down analysis on Bitcoin. We're going to start from the higher time frames, work our way down to the lower time frames, and check to see if we find any good setups. Now remember, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. By the way, guys, this episode is being sponsored by BTCUSD. If you want to support the channel, just use my referral link in the description. BTCUSD is a crypto exchange, user-friendly, requires no KYC, no VPN, and has super low fees. Check it out in the description below. All right, guys, currently it's 3:11 p.m. Eastern time. The price of Bitcoin is about 117,500, and we're going to start off here with the monthly chart. Today the monthly candle closes in about 4 or 5 hours, so it's good to come back around 8 p.m. Eastern time to see how we close. So far we are closing bullish. We're green. This is our 4th green candle in a row. The stochastics are pointing up. Let's zoom in just to make sure they're not curving. Nope, they're still pointing up, so it looks very bullish so far. The only thing is that the 21 moving average is at 75,520. We're a little bit far, but with the stochastics being still low, I think we still have a pretty good run. Now the 2-week chart closes in about 3 days and 5 hours. The stochastics are also on the way up, so this is also looking good. Right now it looks like an indecisive candle. Let's see in a couple of days how that closes out. The weekly, we're starting to get a red candle here. Still too early, like I said, 3 hours and 5 days before this closes, but stochastics are toppy. Best case scenario is that we roll back up and drag here for a little bit. 21 moving average is at 100,703. Now I had a question today in the comment section, and they were asking me if a rising wedge is bearish, and a rising wedge is bearish. And as you can see, I have this weekly chart in a rising wedge that breaks us out all the way to about 155k. Now even though a rising wedge is bearish, if it breaks up, it usually breaks up parabolically, and as we can see here, we already broke out of the rising wedge. Of course, with the stochastics are toppy, it's possible that we could fall back into the rising wedge and then break out later on, but for the most part they are bearish patterns. But if they do break out, they do break out parabolically, and I feel like this is what's going to happen here, since we still have a lot of more room here on the monthly stochastics that will drag into the weekly. So let's see what ends up happening. I could be wrong. Now let's head over to the other time frames, and as we can see, the other time frames, the stochastics are toppy here. The 6-day, the 5-day, the 4-day, the 3-day, everything's on the way down. On the daily chart, we were able to come down. We're starting to reset here, but we might still drag here for a little bit. We lost the 21 moving average yesterday, the day before that, and today we're losing it again. Now the 21 moving average is at 118,236, and the 50 moving average is currently at 111,649. Told you guys yesterday, I feel like we might continue going sideways until this 50 moving average catches up to price range, and then from there we could probably continue going up. Now on the other time frames, the 22-hour, we lost the 21 moving average. The stochastics are low, they look to come back up. Same thing goes for the 12-hour. On the 10-hour, is starting to curve up a little bit on the stochastics, on the 8-hour as well, but we have to start regaining those 21 moving averages. Now on the 4-hour chart, stochastics made it to the top, barely to the dotted line, and now we're on the way back again. We rejected off the 21 moving average. If I put on the patterns here, you see I have this kind of in a rectangular flag, and even though yesterday we dipped out of it, we were able to come back up, but we never made it to the top of the pattern. So let's see what ends up happening. Currently the 200 moving average is at 114,585. We're getting closer and closer to that 200 moving average. Is it possible that we go sideways, the 200 moving average catches up to price, and maybe from there we blast up? Or are we going to fall down to the 200 moving average, or possibly below? You guys already know, if we lose the 200 moving average, I have to start becoming more of a bear. Now on the 1-hour chart, stochastics are heading down. Now this is kind of looking to me like it could be a possible complex inverted head and shoulder pattern here that could break us up. So let's see if that works out. This will be the shoulder, this will be the head. We're currently making the right shoulder, and if it's a complex right shoulder, we'll probably make another shoulder here. And let's see what the measured move of this would be. We'll take it from the wick all the way to the neckline, and if this breaks us up, it says it'll take us to 121,751. It looks like, you know, like a fairy tale, like that might not happen, but I've seen Bitcoin do weirder things. I'm probably 50-50 with this pattern, just because I do see a little bit more downside, but this is what the candles are telling me right now, that this is a possible complex inverted head and shoulders. So let's see if that does work out. Now heading over to the 15-minute chart, we see that the stochastics do want to roll over. We lost the 21, we lost the 200. So right now now, guys, overall, the only thing that I'm seeing is that complex inverted head and shoulder pattern that could break us up to 121, 120, 121. If that doesn't happen, then I do probably see more downside. And I kind of feel like Bitcoin, for some reason, is going to want to test this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Right now, same thing as before. I see us ranging anywhere between 110 and 120. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe. And if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is Flex Candle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.